We have bombshell updates regarding Charlie Kirk and who shot him. Candace Owens getting down to business. Doesn't believe it's the man that has been framed, according to her, Tyler Robinson. She now thinks he is a patsy. Well, we've got updates from Kash Patel, who's blaming the internet sleuths for, I guess, doing their research. But then we've got updates from those internet sleuths, namely the other podcasters looking into it. Piers Morgan, Patrick Bet-David. I'm going to share it all with you. Starts right now on the back half of the Rush Hour podcast. Play a couple clips of what Candace said on our recent episode. We're following her like a hawk, discussing the fact she doesn't think Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. She thinks more people are involved. Here's what she has to say.
Okay, so it's looking like an operation, right? We are right now living through the JFK assassination. We weren't there for that. The majority of us weren't there for that. I wasn't there for that. But we wondered. We knew we were still being lied to about that assassination. And I just wondered, like AJ did, Aloud yesterday, did all of the homies of JFK just try to cover it up? I think the answer might be yes. I think he was surrounded. I think he was infiltrated. And then they got rid of him because of wrongthink. He had the wrong ideas that perhaps maybe every foreign nation should register under FARA. Anyways, how this works is that then you have to kind of put together like a Warren Commission, right? JFK, the Warren Commission, a complete and utter farce to pretend like the government's taking it seriously and investigating. Well, if Tyler Robinson's going to be our patsy, and I do want to be clear here, I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson is guilty of nothing. Right? It's his gun. There's weird stuff going on there. I don't believe he pulled the trigger. But if they're going to make that stick, then you got to have a lawyer that's working for the prosecution, right? Well,
so that's where Candace goes down a wormhole about who's the lawyer and are they doing the work for Tyler Robinson or not. I mean, the guy's still alive. He's in jail. So, you know, if he is a patsy, and he'll speak up against it. So we'll see if he maintains his innocence here. As far as the gun, a lot of experts have said the bullets that they think would have been used from the gun are not what, happened, not what hit Charlie with, because it would have been an absolute bigger mess. And why was the crime scene cleaned up so quickly? Like all of these questions I think are fair to ask. So before I play what Kash Patel had to say, let's just go to the 34:12 mark here. I have several clips of Candace to share, and then I'll go to Kash Patel, kind of doing the thing which gets a little dangerous where, basically saying, hey, there's a lot of hysterical people online. They do that, like, just trust us. And it's like, listen, it's the age of the internet. If the JFK folks had access to the internet back then, there would be the same thing going on, and the longer you wait to ask these questions, the farther the ship gets out from port, right? And so I think it's fair that people are asking these questions. I think it's fair that people don't believe the government, Conspiracies do exist, not all of them. When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. A lot of conspiracy theorists think everything's a conspiracy. They have a lot of confirmation bias to piece it all together. But who am I to say? I haven't seen the actual evidence that the government says they has against Tyler. You heard it from them. There's a note that's destroyed. What? No, I'm going to need more than that.
Or you've pissed them off and they need a conviction against you because they're trying to bankrupt you. Okay? The corrupt case is when you get really close to a truth, the government swoops in to try to bankrupt you. I am living proof of that. Never in the history of the world ever has there been a sitting leader of a foreign country that has sued a podcaster or a news member, even a journalist in a foreign country for defamation.
Now, of course, she's referring to the Macron lawsuit. She's being sued for defamation by the Macrons, the French president and his first lady. I'm still on the side of the curiosity on the defamation suit because, according to the first lady, they've provided Candace plenty of evidence to prove that she was born a woman, and we'll have to see how that all plays out. So I'm not going to let Candace play the victim with regard to the defamation lawsuit. We'll see how it plays out. If she's innocent, God bless her. But so far, it's going to be an uphill battle for Candace. She's got her irons in a lot of different fires here. But with regards to this case, I think she's asking the right questions. I think people will write her off. I kind of looked into the term conspiracy theory, and the term was created to shame people for asking questions. Oh, that's just a quack conspiracy theorist. Well, oftentimes a conspiracy theory can prove to be right or partially right, and we live in a time where people want that transparency. And I don't think it's people just on the right or just on the left. Let people ask these questions.
The courts, and they will get whatever it is they need to get accomplished in the courts, whether it's bankruptcy or a conviction that makes literally no sense, as is going to be the case with Tyler Robinson. They're going to convict him, right? They found their patsy. They're going to make it work, and they're going to keep threatening the rest of us for noticing that nothing makes sense at all.
Wow, it's interesting. And listen, I still believe in the justice system. I still believe that they'll present their evidence and Tyler Robinson will have his defense and all of that. That's what I believe. I don't know if it'll be televised. I don't really know what the rules are. But boy, maybe we'll have to go to Utah and check it out, honestly. Hit the subscribe button. If we get to 200,000 subscribers, I'm going to the Tyler Robinson trial. There you have it. You get me to 200,000 subscribers, I will report live from there. We did this with the Blake Lively stuff. You got me to 100,000, and we are going to be at the Blake Lively trial. I'm a star witness in the Laura Owens trial, state of Arizona. So I got a lot of stuff going on the West Coast. So I will be there. You hit me at 200,000 subscribers. All right. So that's what Candace had to say. They found their patsy. I mean, those are bold claims she's making. She claims that she's got sources that say that there's somehow a woman involved, that there's ring camera footage that they haven't shared. Again, this will all, if Candace has it, Tyler Robinson's defense will have it. A lot of people that have talked to me say, she makes all these claims, but she doesn't back it up. And I just say, well, let's just give it time. If she's got sources, I know what it's like sometimes to have a source. You can't always share that information right away because it might implicate the source. Respectfully, we'll see. And her batting average, her quote unquote batting average of credibility will either be good or bad following this. We'll have to see. And I think that's the only way you can do it, right? So here's Kash Patel. Now, again, he's the one who said, he said it was a far left person. No evidence whatsoever that Tyler Robinson is far left. None. The only thing people say is, well, he was dating a trans person. Was he? We don't even know about that. And if that's true, Caitlyn Jenner is a pretty far right, person, and she's trans. So let's not say that you have to be far left to be trans. I think that's such a insult to people's sexual, fluidity. I truly mean that. I was fighting with somebody over this, and they're like, yeah, no, he must be far left. He's trans. I'm like, what are you talking about? That literally makes no sense to me. I reject that. But either way, plenty of eye rolling, no pun intended, plenty of eye rolling about Kash Patel and what he has said regarding the note that's been destroyed. And so let's see what he's saying now. I mean, why is he even talking? Do your investigations. I don't know why they're, on such a PR blitz here, but have a listen.
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control, and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted at Congress in my testimony last week was, if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms, because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I ask for Congress' help in doing so.
I don't disagree that there's a problem with the internet. I don't know what we want the government to do about it. I truly don't. I don't know. Do we want them policing everything we say and spying on us? I don't know. I think that's dangerous. But I don't think that's the problem with the internet investigating Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? It's sure, there's a lot of people that get radicalized and are lonely online and they're living a life of despair. We don't know if that was Tyler Robinson or not. Could have been deep in that 4chan world.
But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with leading the nationwide manhunt to find the perpetrators involved. Of course, we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved. And the investigation's still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency.
Pillars of his leadership. Look at that. He's got American flag socks. The pillars of his leadership. Bro, where did you come from? And tasked on this, tasked to lead the manhunt. Tyler Robinson was turned in. Their trail ran dry.
Produce more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold. Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, so fast. The Boston Marathon bomber, which happened in downtown Boston during the Boston Marathon, took 5 days, and there was a police officer was killed in that manhunt. Luigi Mangione, who allegedly murdered an individual, the CEO of the healthcare company, in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight, took 5 days to find.
It was at like 7 a.m. By the way, what sort of victory lap is he trying to take? You did not catch Tyler Robinson. He literally, turned himself in. The hell is this guy talking about?
Our investigation is very much ongoing. But we've also, Armstrong, in an unusual thing, put out publicly more information as to what we found because it is of such public importance. The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories because it makes them money. It gives them clickbait. And I don't work for them and I don't respond to them.
But you used to. You used to be that guy that you're now better than. I don't know. It's shady. And again, watching him shame the people that are online trying to do their research, I can't tell you how often the FBI gets their leads from the internet doing their research. It's a pretty good tool to have. I understand the Boston bombing. They had the wrong guy. I understand the dangers that can come from that. But, I don't know. I think he's wasting a lot of time trying to shame people that want justice to be served.
Duties to the American people. If there was anyone else involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, you can look at our record. We'll find them and we'll get them.
Nobody trusts you after how you handle the Epstein files. Literally nobody. Here's Piers Morgan, says, not a conspiracy theorist, a lot of questions.
Again, I'm not a big conspiracy theory person as a rule of thumb because most of them turn out to be nonsense. But you haven't got to be a conspiracy theorist to think what is going on here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wasn't with the security team, and I don't want to pass judgment on their decisions that were made. But it's like it almost seemed like in the aftermath too, everyone's shifting the blame where we had personal security, where there should have been local cops. Well, the campus security had this. It's like, look, man, give me 5 dudes. Tier 1 guys, we'll lock it down. And the first place we're checking is the rooftops. Then we're checking the bushes. You're looking for little stuff like perfect circles, perfect squares, perfect lines don't exist in nature. So you're looking for scopes, you're looking for lines of a barrel, stuff like that. It should be locked down. And then, even going back, speaking of conspiracies, going back to 9/11 with the plane hitting the Pentagon, we have one camera on the most secure area in the world. Why is it now in 2025 we got grainy footages of a dude who might not be the dude? You got people with this technology.
I think it's fair to be asking these questions. Patrick Bet David.
Justice, right? Innocent till proven guilty. Okay. Yes, trust, but verify. So this is the part where I have questions. And by the way, we're not even professionals. We don't do this for a living. We're just asking basic questions that you don't have the answers for.
Now, I bring up these other podcasts just to show that you're not crazy if you don't sort of believe the timeline. You're not crazy if there's a lot of questions left unanswered. If they want to be so quick to get information out and blame the political ideologies and this and that, then I think audiences have every right to question what they're saying. Like I said, the trust is not there right now. The way they're bungling Epstein, saying that there's no one else involved, and then you've got Howard Lutnick and others saying, oh my gosh, this guy, Epstein must have videotaped people getting massages. There was so much blackmail going on. Like, we know there's so much more to the story. We know it. It's probably the one thing that's unifying the left and the right now, knowing that the government is pissing on our leg and telling us it's raining. Speaking of which, the government is shut down. Updates this afternoon regarding everything to do with the shutdown and the finger pointing and all of that. So stick around for the afternoon episode. We do pop culture and politics all in one place. We'll see you then. Until then, have a good one. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Dave. This is The Rush.